right, it's Louisville's new rock alternative, out with a 5-1. It is PK, and in the studio, once again, a very special guest, the one, the only, Louisville's own, Ben Rhodes. What's
PK,
up, man?
Man, good to see you. It's been a few years.
I know, man. It's been a while. So I know we had you in the studio a while back, and then I know we did a Zoom maybe like a couple of years ago. But over the time that we've been having you come in and talking about everything going on with the NASCAR Truck Series and everything, you've had yourself a pretty good stretch over the past 5 years.
Yeah, man. Did we win the first championship when I saw you?
That was the year leading up. That year you won that first championship, 2021, and then the second one in 2023. So not too bad, right?
Yeah, it's been a good couple of years, man. 21 we got the championship. 22 we finished second.
Yeah.
By 300 feet. It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
It was so close. And then let's see, 2023 we got the championship again. And last year was nothing to write home about. So just forget about 2024. It's in the rear view. Don't even think about it.
Yeah.
I'm hoping for a better 25. We'll see. Daytona starts though this week, so pretty pumped about that.
That's right. And a nice Valentine's Day with everything for the start of this season, like you said, in Daytona. And last year's in the rear view, but thinking about this year moving forward, it's you have a couple of championships, you have a struggle-ish kind of season last season. So what's the thought process moving forward? What are some of the things that you really want to address and be okay, here's what we're going to fix from last year and get back to where we were?
Well, the biggest thing for us has been inconsistency. So anybody that's a NASCAR fan knows you show up, you've got practice, right? That goes for all sports. Everybody's got to practice.
Yep.
Well, NASCAR says, hey, we don't like practice. We're going to cut back on that. So when I show up to a track, you go from being in your street clothes to getting in this race truck and going, close to 200 in a span of 10 minutes, and you get 10 minutes of practice. That's your warm-up. That's it. 10, 15 minutes. So for us, where you find your speed is the truck itself, the truck. Mm-hmm. You've got all of these different changes you can do that make you slower or faster. I mean, everybody's watched Fast and Furious, right? You've got modifications. Those modifications make you quicker.
Yeah.
Well, we've got stock things we can do that really bring out the speed of the truck. So when you show up from the racetrack or show up to the racetrack and you bring that truck, you're not allowed to make any changes, and it's just a simple warm-up that I have as a person, a driver, to get used to it. Mm-hmm. Where's the speed come from? It comes from the race shop. So we've got to be more consistent in our preparation. So when we show up, we're on kill. We're number one every single week. But, we haven't been. So we've got to be better at that.
Yeah, well, I mean, getting a wrench thrown in the gears like that of not being able to practice, I feel like that's a big thing. So, hopefully, this start of this season again coming up on Friday with Daytona and the NASCAR Truck Series. Hopefully, it's going to be a much more consistent year, as you're saying. So, I do want to talk. I know that obviously the Truck Series has been your bread and butter with the 2 championships. Has there ever been that consideration of going and doing, the Cup Series or driving, those cars? Or are you just strictly what, I love doing the trucks, I don't want to change it up?
No, I mean, I think every driver considers stuff. I mean, you look at Kyle Larson and different guys that are in the news right now, right? Mm-hmm. They're all trying to do IndyCar and Cup Series, or they're talking about Formula One. There's all this crossover. So I think if you're a driver, you're naturally pulling to different series because it's interesting to you. You find something about it that's new and exciting, and it tests your skill set. It's a step out of your comfort zone. So I mean, I'm human. I naturally have that, but I also recognize I've got a really good team behind me here.
Yeah.
It's been my home in the Truck Series now for, I think I'm going on 9 years with the longest tenured truck team. So, that's a really good place to be. There's stability there. There's speed there. There's championships that are there.
Yeah.
So, I'm very fortunate and happy for ThorSport Racing. That's my people. That's my group.
That's right.
But, if something was to come along, a right opportunity, and I could do that with ThorSport, ThorSport, then yeah, of course these are things we'll talk about. But I'll never count anything out, right? Who wouldn't want to go sprint car racing or do some Indy stuff or whatever?
Exactly. So I mean, for anybody who doesn't fully understand the differences when it comes to everything in these different series for NASCAR, what do you think is the biggest difference outside of how the cars look?
Yeah, well,
when it comes to the racing between the Cup Series or trucks.
Well, it used to not be a huge difference. You could go back a few years ago and you could see multiple guys running 3 races a weekend: the Truck Series, the Xfinity Series, the Cup Series, and there wasn't that big of a difference. You're talking horsepower and downforce, like how the air affects the vehicle. Now it's massive. I mean, the Cup cars are nothing like Xfinity and Truck. So you see those guys that used to do those weekend sweeps, they're not doing that anymore. They kind of just stay in the Cup cars. They're so different to drive. So what I drive, the Truck, it's an H pattern. Everything's manual in racing, right? That's just it's manual. There's more speed there. It's better.
Yep.
Sorry, automatic drivers. It is what it is. But the Cup guys, they have sequential. So think of like a motorcycle, right? It's up or down. You're either going up through the gears or down through the gears. You're not taking some shifter and running it sideways and diagonal and up and down and all this stuff. So there's differences there. They have more gears available to them. They have independent rear suspension. I mean, we're not that. So we handle completely different than they do. And air is single-handedly the biggest thing that we fight between the series that makes a big difference in handling.
Yeah. So and all of that just goes way over my head.
Really?
As someone who
I was trying to keep it like pre-K level,
I'm one of those be like, oh, automatic, great. I'm one of those, but no, all of it makes sense, and it is interesting, like seeing that difference now of like you said, the drivers that aren't doing those full weekend sweeps of everything. So do you feel like that is causing more or less competition in the series with more drivers essentially are sticking to 1 or 2 maybe?
Yeah, I don't know. I can't say that necessarily is increasing or decreasing competition in and of itself. Yeah. I'll tell you that the Truck Series has become way more competitive over the years. So, whether that's a function of them or not, I can't say, but I do think it's a function of just we have motors that everybody's using. They're like a common motor. And then actually limited practice has made the series so competitive because you're showing up and there's no way to get a competitive edge, really. You have to kind of experiment. You don't have time to experiment. So I don't know. The series is jam-packed with competition. The depth is there. It goes back to 20-something place.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's going to be an interesting season. Again, kicking off this Friday, Valentine's Day in Daytona, which, I mean, out of all of the tracks, I feel like you've had some decent success at Daytona.
Yeah, man. I love that place. Daytona, it's like you walk through, we get these cold, icy winters up here in Louisville this year, and you go down Daytona, sun is shining. Yep. It's just a great day, and you get to smell the burnt rubber and the racing fuel, and there's something about it. The intensity goes up. I don't know. I love that place. We got a couple wins there on the big track and then the road course. So my heart goes out to that.
Do you have a favorite track that you like being at?
Not really. I'll tell you this. When you win, that becomes your favorite track. So very quickly, it becomes your favorite.
There you go. That's fair. Okay, I'll stick with that one. So kind of shifting gears. We always talk music. Every time that we have you on here and everything. So we did a takeover once, and just want to kind of get a freshen up. Like what's been on the playlist lately? Anything that you've been digging or you've been hearing too much of, or you're just like I can't deal with it. Like, doesn't necessarily even need to be the stuff that we have, like just anything in general.
I wish I could give you a hot take, dude, but I don't have one. I know that's like the current thing. Everybody's got TikTok brain. They want a hot take. I don't have a hot take. I mean, I'm looking right here at y'all's playlist going down the line. I think Savior was just playing. I love some Savior. Foo Fighters is great.
Yeah.
I mean, there's thousands of songs. I don't have a favorite. You'll learn this about me. I don't have a favorite food. I don't have a favorite color. I enjoy variety.
There you go. That's
slice of life, they call it.
Yes, indeed. But it's always cool to to be able to experiment and have all of those different things, and not essentially be like pigeonholed, like we were talking
definitely
about.
Not pigeonholed, I can tell you that one.
Well, awesome, man. Again, this Friday, the NASCAR Truck Series Daytona, and it's a nice little Valentine's Day gift. Everything's going to be kicking off, and we're hoping for another stellar season from you, Ben. It's always good to have you here in the studio.
Yeah, thank you. Good to see you, PK.
Always, man.